everyone, hello and welcome to the finale video for the no added salt and exercise challenge. So I have to start this with letting you guys know that having mouth surgery in the middle of this challenge really messed up I think this challenge. I probably should have continued doing this challenge for another 7 days to make up for the 7 days that I was taking antibiotics, and for 3 days that I wasn't allowed to exercise, which kind of made me not want to do as good of a job exercising, that because I just didn't exercise quite as much as I needed to, and the antibiotics totally messed up my GI tract, like completely. We'll talk about that, but that unfortunate event of having surgery on my mouth in the middle of this challenge really didn't work out the greatest. But let's talk about the diet itself in terms of the no sodium part of it, not so much the oral surgery part of it. So the first thing we usually talk about is quantity of food. And I was reflecting on this morning, and I think that I may purposefully choose challenges that are enough food. Like this, again, quantity of food, 5 stars, because I could eat as much as I wanted. I mean, it might have not had any salt in it, but I could eat as much food as I wanted. So I really, I'm definitely, I think, a quantity eater. But I did notice also that when the food wasn't super oversaturated with flavor and salt, that I ate till I was full and then I was done, which is really kind of a nice feeling. And there were several times that I made recipes that weren't that awesome. And so as soon as I was full, I was like, yeah, that's good enough. I don't need any more. That's plenty. But anyway, quantity, that was just absolutely fine. So that worked out really well. I enjoy eating, and so yeah, 5 stars. So the next thing that we usually talk about is quality of food. So quality of food, was there anything missing or not as exciting about this diet as some of the others, or just in general eating? Definitely had to give this 4 stars. So I found some new recipes on like the Mayo Clinic website and on what was the other one that we used? Well, I'm drawing a blank right now in terms of what is the other one, but Dr. Furman's website has a whole bunch. I just used All Recipes. That's what it was. So I found a whole bunch of new recipes, and some of them were really good. So that was kind of neat in terms of finding some new recipes. But 4 stars for quality, simply because, yeah, there were definitely some recipes that needed a pinch of salt. That really would have enhanced the flavor of the recipe had there been any salt in it. So, was the quality of the food always great? No. But I really enjoyed trying some new recipes and finding a few new recipes that were really good. So that was kind of nice. All right, so ease of diet. Was this easy to do? Yes. I mean, yes, there's not really any difficulty when you do a challenge and all you have to do is leave something out. So I went ahead and gave this 5 stars, and I actually really and truly think that in terms of the ease of the diet, well, it was really pretty simple. You just leave out the sodium when you're making recipes that already have sodium in them, or find recipes that don't have any sodium at all. So as far as ease of this particular plan goes, it was pretty simple. I did spend quite a bit of time looking at recipes online, and I was able to find all sorts of recipes that I thought were really good in terms of not having sodium in them. And obviously Dr. Furman's website helps significantly, because all of his recipes, not all of them, but almost all of them, are very, very good. I really enjoyed the Mayo Clinic website as well. Ease of challenge, because I was also doing the exercise. I did struggle with the exercise a little bit. There were several days that throughout the challenge, that I just didn't feel like exercising, so I just didn't. Or I was super tired, or for whatever reason, just one day I literally just totally forgot. That's not very good. So anyways, the ease of diet, it really was pretty easy. Okay, so let's talk about overall effectiveness. This challenge was extremely effective. So normally my blood pressure runs, whenever I've been to the doctor, whenever I've been out and about, if I've had my blood pressure checked, it's almost always right between 115 and 120, maybe 122 at the highest. and usually right in the low 80s to high 70s to low 80s. And that is a very normal blood pressure for me. Even when I was pregnant with my kiddos, my blood pressure was always really pretty good. But it is really common for me now, with no salt in my diet, to be running 99 to 103, right in that range, over 60s to low 70s. So I have not felt I've not felt more tired than I have been in the past. So I don't think that having a lower blood pressure has affected me in terms of, oh, I'm feeling really sluggish and sedated and whatever. That has not been the case. So really and truly, if somebody has high blood pressure, this would definitely be something they could try. I would say that's probably about a 20-point drop for systolic blood pressure, and not quite a 20-point drop, so maybe 15-point drop-ish for diastolic. So that's pretty good. I mean, that's a pretty big jump. I would definitely recommend it for somebody who's got high blood pressure. And then for weight loss, this is the kind of stinker of the whole thing. So I started and lost pretty much right away. I had lost about 4 pounds, which is great. That was a great way to start the challenge. Then I had surgery on my mouth and took antibiotics for 7 days. And I'm guessing it was the antibiotics that did it, because nothing else changed other than the 3 days of absolutely no exercise. Nothing else really had changed. And over the course of those 7 days, I gained 7 pounds, like for real, by the time I was done taking the antibiotics. And I told you guys at one point in the middle of that, I was feeling really bloated and not comfortable at all. And I'm not saying that it's weight that I gained. It could very well have been water, but who knows? Definitely said 7 extra pounds on the scale. And then as soon as I stopped taking the antibiotics, like 2 days later, I dropped 2 pounds. So I do think that it was just maybe some water weight or something. But since I stopped taking the antibiotics, I have lost 6 pounds. So overall, if you just count the pounds that I've lost like 10 pounds, but I gained 7. So yes, did I lose some weight? Sure. So I really do think that this really is an effective way to get your blood pressure lower and an effective way to lose weight. So 5 stars for sure. I really do think that this would be totally reasonable for somebody to do as a plan for either of those 2 ideas. So I do think that it really did work out. I just wish that I hadn't had kind of the misconstruing factor in the middle with the antibiotics, but that's what it was. It is what it is. I can't change it. All right, so last thing, sustainability. So I gave this a 4 simply because could you eat no sodium for the rest of your life? Absolutely. You really and truly could. But there's just some things once in a while that maybe if you're a little bit more disciplined than I am, you just don't eat them. So it's not a big deal. But every once in a while, so one time I did buy some kettle chips that had no salt added, and they're gross. Like, they're just oily potato things. Yuck. I didn't even mention them to you guys, I don't think, the day that I ate a few of them, because they were nasty. I would not recommend them at all. So little things here and there that have sodium, I kind of have missed a little bit. So over the long haul, I think that never ever being able to go out to eat would be kind of difficult. Although you could go out and have a salad, or maybe you could get a baked potato that didn't have anything on it, or something along those lines. But really and truly not being able to ever let your guard down and go out to eat. I don't eat out often, but once or twice a month, if I'm out with my husband grocery shopping or something, it'd be nice to be able to do. So I don't know. Is it really, really, really possible for me to do long-term, no sodium added whatsoever? I don't think so. However, I'm sure that there are a lot of people that do it, so don't get me wrong. If it's something you want to try, I say totally go for it. I could see it being very easy to say, I'm going to be no salt added 90% of the time. You know what I mean? Something like that would probably be quite doable. But 100% of the time, I'm not sure how sustainable that is for me. All right, so overall, that equaled 4.5 stars, 92%, 4.5 stars. I do think that this is a good challenge. I think that anybody who is finding themselves in a kind of a vicious circle where you crave things that you don't want to be eating, but you've eaten them and now you just crave more of them, which is the reason that my husband originally went salt-free to begin with, was because he was just like, just once in a while we get something that he shouldn't have eaten, and then all of a sudden he's like, I really want French fries, and I want a Snickers bar, and I want this, and I want that, and it was very hard for him to say no to those things, and that was the part that was bothersome to him. Plus the fact that his blood pressure was elevated when he went to the dentist's office. And his blood pressure has come down beautifully as well. His blood pressure, when he's measuring it, is anywhere in the, it's like what mine used to be. His is like the high 117-ish to low 120-ish, and the high 70s to low 80s now. Whereas before, a good blood pressure for him would have been like 135 over 90-ish. That would be normal for him. So yeah, I mean, it definitely works. I would highly recommend giving it a try if you're trying to reduce the amount that you're eating, or you're trying to reduce your blood pressure. So that's it for me for this time around, guys. I'm actually planning on continuing, not no sodium, but definitely low sodium in the future. I don't think there's absolutely any reason whatsoever to go back to eating the amount of sodium that I had in my diet before. And I'm completely comfortable in knowing that if I've had a high sodium meal that maybe is causing me to have cravings, that I'm completely capable. If I can do it for 30 days, I can do it for a few days. I could totally just eat no sodium completely for 2, 3, 4 days and get things reset back to, okay, normal food tastes wonderful. So that's it for me for this challenge, guys. I'm really excited about doing another challenge with you guys, and I will see you again for another 30-day challenge very soon.